And once again, this module is all about addition and subtraction word problems. And let's get ready to start. So your objective, your goal is I can use a variety of tools to solve word problems. So last video we went over a few tools that you can use: blocks, pictures, snacks such as cereal puffs, fruit snacks, goldfish, crackers, things like that, counters, and a number line. So go ahead, you'll notice on the top of the workbook page, last time it said blocks, I believe. This time it said pictures, to use those to solve the word problems. What I want you guys to do is just focus on solving them in a way that works for you. So if you're using pictures for every single one, every single page, that's fine. If you're using different blocks or tools or snacks, that's also fine too. So last video we also went over some steps that you can take in order to solve the word problem. So first you need to decide, is it addition or subtraction? Remember, addition is what? Getting bigger, you're adding more to it, your amount is getting larger. Subtraction is what? Good job. It's getting smaller. You're taking things away, so your original amount is shrinking and getting smaller. I also want you to circle important information in the word problem. Information that's important in a word problem is amounts. So you don't need to circle really the names of people in these type of word problems or what it is you're counting. What I want you to circle is the amounts so you know which amounts you're working with. I also want you to use any of these tools to help you solve the word problem. And lastly, please circle or box your answer because, especially as you get older, you're going to have so much stuff in your workspace that it's going to be easier to find the answer if it's circled or boxed. So let's go ahead and do some practice word problems. I'm going to get my marker ready. Now, it says, Haley has 2 dolls. Do you hear any important information that I should circle? Let me go ahead and read it again. Haley has 2 dolls. What should I circle? You're right, I should circle 2. That's how many she's starting with. She gets 3 more for her birthday. What should I circle? You're right, I should circle the number 3. And I'm going to underline more real quick because that's going to help us decide if it's addition or subtraction. How many does she have in total now? I'm going to circle or underline in total. So what amounts are we working with in this word problem? 2 and 3. Now it's using words like more, in total. Is Haley getting dolls taken away from her and her amount's getting smaller? Or is she getting more dolls added to her original amount and it's getting larger? Which one? Oh, and I think you can hear the dogs upstairs. Yes, her amount is getting larger. She's getting more dolls added to her collection. So how many dolls did Haley start with? 2. So if you're using little snacks or blocks or counters, you can go ahead and set 2 in one side. I'm going to draw you a picture. And again, for the pictures, I don't want you drawing actual little dolls. I don't want you drawing little butterflies or ladybugs. Just use things that are simple and easy to draw, such as circles, squares, triangles, hearts. So I'm going to start with 2. And then what was our second amount that gets added? 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I like putting my amounts into different groups that I can see clearly. So I can see we have 2, and you can imagine a little plus sign there, plus 3. So go ahead, if you're setting up little snacks, counters, things like that, go ahead and set up 2 in one pile, and then the next pile, 3. Good job. Now we're going to work on combining this amount. We're going to add them together. So if you have little snacks or things you can physically touch, you're going to get 1, then 2, and set them kind of off to the side, make a new pile, 3, 4, and keep going. Make it one big pile now. If you do pictures, you're just going to cross them off as you count. Now I want you guys to count slow because sometimes if we count too quick, too fast, we make silly little mistakes. So let's go ahead. I will get a second color, and let's add this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many dolls does Haley have in total now? How many do we have in total? Correct, we have 5. And I'm going to circle my answer. So Haley now has 5 dolls. Let's go ahead and go to number 2. James had 6 marbles. Did you hear an amount that I should circle? Let me read it one more time. James had 6 marbles. What should I circle? You're correct. I should circle 6. He lost 4. I'm going to underline lost because that might help us decide what's addition or subtraction. Now, what should I circle? He lost 4. You're right, I should circle 4. How many marbles are left? I'm going to underline that. So James started with 6. He lost 4 of them. They want to know how many are left now that he lost them. If you're losing something, if you're losing marbles, are you getting more added to your collection or are you getting some taken away? Correct, you're getting them taken away. If you're losing it, they're going away. They're not going to be there anymore. So our original amount that we started with was 6. So I will draw a picture for this one and use the number line, and you can use any tool of your choice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now remember, with subtraction, you need to start with your original amount. So before you took anything away, what did you start with? That's your original amount, and it's usually your biggest or largest number. In this case, it's 6. And then we're going to cross off the ones that he lost. But real quick, I'm also going to draw a number line. And you may be wondering why we put the arrows on the number line. That's just to show that it does extend and continue. So you always start with 0, 1, 2, oh, this is getting hard, 3, 4, 5, I'm twisted like a pretzel, and 6. So he's starting with 6. Now, with my picture, and if you have a pile of things that you can actually touch, you're going to start with 6, and you're going to take away how many? How many did he lose again? 4. So now I'm going to cross off 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're working with things that you can touch, go ahead and take 4 away and put them kind of far from your pile so you don't get confused. And then this is how many are left. That is your answer. Before we get to that, let's go to our number line. We're going to go backwards because we're getting smaller. We're taking some away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what is the answer? How many marbles are left? 1, 2, and then here you know, so we landed on 2. So I'm going to write my answer and circle it. Now notice, whether you use something you can touch, such as blocks, counters, snacks, you drew pictures, you used a number line, you ended up with the same answer. So use whatever tool works for you. Now some of you, maybe you can do it really quick in your head and you don't really need to draw anything. I still want you to at least draw a picture at the bare minimum, because it's always good to show your work, because that tells me and whoever else is looking at your work what you were thinking. So if you do make a mistake, we know where you went wrong, and it's also good for you to see. Now for example, this one, I did cross off 4, but what if I had crossed off 1 too many and I said, oh, my answer is 1. And if someone told me, no, it's not 1, I could go back and say, oops, I crossed off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, when all he did was lose 4. So that's why it's always good to show your work. It shows your thinking and it helps you understand either how you got it right or how you got it wrong. So go ahead and complete your workbook page, and I will see you in the next video.